Hi, you guys. This is Nina back again. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm going live. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at LoveRadio44132. Follow me and I'll follow you back. And if you can, donate on Cash App. My tag is money symbol Nina 44132. Without further delay, you guys, let's get started. This is an update on the Breonna Taylor case, the EMT technician whom was murdered by police in Louisville, Kentucky. This is a very sad update, and I was surprised yet astounded by the information coming out. Prosecutors actually tried to get her ex boyfriend to lie and sign documents that she was basically a drug runner. Now I'm going to get into this article. This is courtesy of Washington Post. I will link a full article in the description. And the article says that for several months now, Breonna Taylor uh, has risen to nationwide prominence as a symbol of racial injustice and police impunity. Her name uttered by crowds of demonstrators, top politicians, her face appearing on banners, basketball jerseys, and magazine covers. Louisville prosecutors have continued to prosecute her ex boyfriend, who suspected drug trafficking led police to raid her apartment and fatally shoot her. Breonna Taylor's family and lawyers have insisted she's had nothing to do with Jamarcus Glover's alleged crimes, with little evidence against her and no previous criminal record. They say she was only pulled into the case through her ties to her ex boyfriend Jamarcus Glover, whom she had cut off uh, speaking to before her killing. Now, I want that to sink in. I feel like this is a further injustice to her, where the cops just won't admit they went into the wrong apartment and now she is deceased. I'm going to continue on with this article. Yet in July, Louisville prosecutors offered Glover a plea bargain, one that could turn a possible 10-year prison sentence into just probation if he was to sign papers saying that Breonna Taylor was an active participant in organized crime syndicate, according to records first reported by the WDRB television Monday morning. This is completely outrageous. So basically, the prosecutors wanted to sweep this under the rug, let the police officers go off free and clear, and then say that she was a part of this syndicate. Like I said, this is just an unbelievable update. Glover's attorney, Scott Barton, told the Washington Post that prosecutors were fine providing an alternate version that did not name Taylor. They did not suggest that mentioning Taylor would lead to a better deal. But Glover told the Louisville Courier Journal, I believe that that's a newspaper, in a Monday night interview that officials wanted him to falsely imply that Taylor and Sam Aguirre, a Louisville attorney representing Taylor's family in a wrongful death lawsuit, slammed the offer, calling it part of a smear campaign. Aguirre said the offer shows local officials are desperate to justify Taylor's killing. Shame on that officer, the lawyer wrote on Facebook. She is deceased. Way to try and attack a woman when she's not even here to defend herself. Tom Wine of the Jefferson County Commonwealth attorneys argued that the offer was a draft. Yeah, right. Brought up during negotiations and denied that Breonna Taylor would ever have been indicted as a co-defendant, as she is described under facts of the case in a photo of the plea offer that Aguirre shared on his social media. A spokesman for Wine did not dispute the documents uh, were valid, but said it was quickly amended. Yeah, right. Again, this is why the country is in such an uproar. Instead of them just literally saying that they made a mistake and they need to make it right by analyzing what happened and seeing who actually needs to be arrested, mainly the officers that went into her apartment. And mind you, this was even after Jamarcus Glover was already in jail, and they thought that he was there at her apartment. So, continuing with the article, our office has not and does not post posthumously indict any person who is deceased, Wine said in a statement Monday. When I was advised of the discussions, I directed that Ms. Taylor's name be removed. Jamarcus Glover, who was 30, who has vouched for Taylor's innocence, failed to show up to court to accept any plea deal. But news of the offer have inflamed tensions as Glover's case, and by proxy, the events that led up to Taylor's killings, continues to make its way through the courts, and prosecutors continue demanding accountability. By now, the details of what happened to Taylor on March 13th are well established. She was a young emergency room technician whom aspired to be a nurse. She and her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, were asleep in her apartment when they heard someone coming in through the door. Three plainclothes officers, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove, all of whom are white, had entered on a no-knock search warrant. The Louisville Courier Journal reported. After Walker let off one shot, fearing that the police were intruders, the officers responded with more than 20, including multiple shots that hit Taylor, and she lost her life. Examinations and the accounts of the Jamarcus Glover's role, he and Taylor had been seeing each other intermittently for years, according to New York Times, and she paid and arranged bail for him several times and remained in contact with Glover as he was secretly surveilled by the police officers. GPS trackers on Glover's car did show him visiting her apartment, and police photos showed her at the suspected drug house after he was arrested in the hours following Breonna Taylor's passing. He told several people in calls from the jail that he had left a lot of money at her home. Still, Aguirre, as many activists said, the police lacked enough evidence to conduct a raid on Taylor's apartment complex, especially with a no-knock warrant. So again, this case is truly getting out of control. Apparently, this news broke. It was very heartbreaking because, again, it does seem like they are trying to actively sweep this under the rug. However, and thankfully, due to the amount of tension that this case has received, now they have to be held accountable. And they have to be held accountable in the correct manner instead of just making up stories, which is what they're seeming to try to do. However, again, her passing, along with several others, Jacob Blake's um, incident in Wisconsin where he was shot in the back several times, he's now paralyzed. All of these cases are putting things in the forefront that you're not safe anywhere, you're not safe in your home. And while the police are trying to get off the hook for this, I am glad that the public is keeping this out there. And I would like for this video to be shared as to continue to keep her name and voice alive so justice can be seen in this case. Like, share, and subscribe until the next episode, or if I get another update, I will come back and do so. Be safe and have a good evening.